What would you do if your child told you she was going to the store to help pick out a surprise gift, and she never came home? In the quiet lakeside streets of Bay Village on October 27, 1989, that simple afternoon promise turned into a nightmare that has never truly ended. The wind moved gently through the trees, leaves scattered across sidewalks, and nothing about that Friday felt different. Children were getting off school buses, parents were finishing work. It was the kind of safe, comfortable town where neighbors waved and everyone believed danger happened somewhere else. But sometimes evil doesn't look loud or violent. Sometimes it sounds polite. 10-year-old Amy Mihaljevic was bright, thoughtful, and deeply devoted to her mother. Her parents had recently divorced, and Amy understood more than most children her age. She knew her mother, Margaret, was working hard to hold everything together. When the phone rang days before her disappearance, Amy answered. A calm male voice introduced himself as one of her mother's coworkers. He said he needed help choosing a special gift for Margaret. He told Amy she seemed mature, responsible. He made her feel important, and then he offered her something in return, a small present as a thank you. To a child, it didn't feel dangerous. It felt exciting, grown up, a secret mission to make her mother smile. On that Friday afternoon, Amy told her mom she was going to meet the man at the Bay Square shopping center. It was only a short walk from home. She wore her turquoise sweatshirt with a horse on it, jeans and boots. Witnesses later remembered seeing her standing outside the store entrance around 2:15 p.m. She looked relaxed. She wasn't scared. At some point, she walked away with a man. There was no struggle, no scream, just a normal afternoon that slowly slipped into silence. When evening came and Amy did not return, Margaret's unease turned into panic. She called police. Officers searched the neighborhood, retraced Amy's steps, knocked on doors. Helicopters circled overhead as night fell over Bay Village. Volunteers combed through yards and wooded areas. Parents held their children closer, but Amy was gone. What kind of person can speak so gently on the phone and hide something so dark underneath? Investigators quickly learned Amy wasn't the only child who had received strange calls. Other girls in nearby towns had been contacted by a man offering gifts under similar stories. The caller knew personal details. He knew about family situations. He knew which homes had young daughters. This was not random. This was planned. Phone tracing technology in 1989 was limited. Detectives interviewed Margaret's coworkers. They searched for anyone who might have known enough to trick Amy. Composite sketches were created based on witness descriptions. Most described a clean-cut white man in his 20s or 30s driving a light-colored vehicle. Ordinary, forgettable, the kind of face you pass in a parking lot and never think about again. Winter arrived and hope began to change shape. On February 8, 1990, more than 3 months after Amy vanished, a jogger made a discovery in a rural field near Ashland, nearly 50 miles away. The remains were identified as Amy. The news shattered whatever fragile hope still lingered. The location raised chilling questions. Why drive that far? Why that isolated field? It suggested familiarity with the area. It suggested planning. Investigators determined Amy had been killed not long after her abduction. The man who spoke softly on the phone had carried out something far more violent than anyone in Bay Village could have imagined. Years passed. Leads came and went. Men were questioned. Some seemed promising. None were charged. DNA evidence was tested as technology improved. Billboards went up across Ohio with Amy's smiling face, frozen in time at 10 years old. Detectives revisited old witness statements, hoping someone might remember. A detail that once seemed too small to matter. A car parked oddly, a stranger watching too closely. Time can fade memories, but it can also sharpen guilt. Somewhere, someone knows what happened that day. Someone remembers a conversation, a suspicious behavior, a small crack in someone's story. In cases like this, investigators often look closely at behavior. The caller showed patience, control. He understood how to gain trust instead of using force. That kind of manipulation suggests experience. It suggests rehearsal. It suggests he may have tried before or after. And yet, despite decades of investigation, the name of the man who lured Amy away has never been confirmed. The file remains open. Detectives continue to test evidence using modern forensic tools. They continue to compare DNA profiles. They continue to follow tips, even after more than 30 years. But beyond the police work, there is something deeper that lingers: the human cost. A mother who never stopped waiting, a community that lost its sense of safety, a child who believed she was doing something kind for her mom. If you'd seen Amy that afternoon, standing outside the store with hope in her eyes, would you have noticed anything wrong? Would you have looked twice at the man beside her? And now, decades later, one final question remains. Who was he? And how many ordinary faces have we overlooked while searching for a monster? If you'd like to go deeper into the suspects, the overlooked clues, and the modern forensic developments that may still unlock this case, tell me to continue, and we will pick up exactly where this silence began.